Hello, it's Jay here again, and welcome to another video. So in this lesson we're actually going to implement the code that's going to start the block movement. Now, we got the script set up in the last video, so in this lesson we're just going to dive straight in and we'll begin at the void start. We just want to make sure that the current position is equal to transform.position on startup. So let's put that into the comments. Set the underscore current position to equal the, in fact I'll put this game objects current transform dot position, and we will need to constantly redefine the current position, but we just want to get its starting position, so that's the reason why this goes in the void start. Now we'll come to the void update and we'll call the countdown function, so just countdown, open and close brackets, close the line off, and we're just going to put that we're calling that function. So now we're calling that function continuously within the void update. Let's come to that function first. So a word of note about the countdown function. This function, the order in which the code goes is important. Very important. It won't work otherwise, so put your code in the exact same order that I am doing. And we're going to say the current move pause minus equal manager dot current timer value times time dot delta time, and we'll close that line off. Into the comments, I'll just break the line up for commenting. So we're setting the current move pause to minus excuse me, the current timer value from the manager script. So now we have a reference to the current transform and how long of a move pause we need. The first thing we'll do is we'll prevent a negative for the move pause. So current move pause is less than, if in brackets current move pause is less than 0, and we'll put that into the comments. We'll make the current move pause equal to 0, close the line off, So what we're doing is we're saying that, and in fact we do need to really do that in the void start as well. We'll set the current move pause to equal the manager dot current timer value. We'll close that line off. And again, you could put from the manager's script if you wish. So we're defining values for both these variables. And what we're doing then is we're saying whatever value this is. So let's actually open up the manager script. So as you can see, it's set to this amount. So it's set to 2 here. Then we slowly subtract. Once we hit 0, it may try and go below, so we prevent that. And then once we've prevented a negative number, we say if current move pause is equal to 0, we'll come to the end of the line, we'll open and close brackets. And inside the brackets, what we're going to say is move block, open and close brackets, close the line off. So we're just calling that function. And this is where the code will actually go to actually move the block. So we call that function. Code that we're going to put in here next moves the block. We then can copy this line from the void start. So let's just copy the entire line. So once we have moved the block, we reset this back to the current timer value, which will be 2, ready to begin counting down again. So that gives us a pause between each movement. Now we need to move the block. So in move block, we're going to say we're going to again, in fact, we'll just copy this line. So we'll just set the current position to equal transform position. In case you're wondering about putting it in the void start also, I just like to do so. It can sometimes help to avoid glitches, so I always like them defined in the void start as well as in code. But we will need to, obviously, every time we move the block, we will need to call this line anyway. because we'll need to constantly update to its new position that it's moved to. But we still need to move it, so we're going to say current position dot y minus equal 1. Close that off. Set the current position on the y-axis to equal the current position minus 1. So all that happens is we get 3 values for the x, y and z for here. We redefine that we want the value of the y to be 1 less. That doesn't actually move the block. This next line is what moves the block, and we say transform dot position. Now when you use this on its own, it basically says to redefine the position of the game object that the script is attached to, and that's going to equal our current position. Close that off. Obviously now our current position is 1 less on the y-axis. So we'll say set game objects position to equal the underscore current position value, and you can put this again that is 1 less on the y-axis if you need to do so, just for your own reference. So let's save this off and let's test this out. So let's come to Unity and we'll hit play. And as you can see, every 2 seconds the block is dropping by 1. Let's load in a new block. And you can see this working here, how it counts down from a value of 2. And every time it's moving 1 on the y-axis. Let's do so again. And again, you can see this counting down, as well as the y-axis, both here and here. So obviously we will need it to stop at some point, but that's for a later date. Let's stop that there. So we now have a very simple movement to our blocks. I think the next lesson we're going to work on the camera system, because I think that's important, so that when we do other things, we can actually move the camera as we are testing out new functions. So we'll do that next. But I think we'll leave it here for this video. As always, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I hope to see you next time. And as always, until then, bye for now.